What is Ahsoka's strength?
She is fearless.
That can also be a weakness. Is she a worthy apprentice?
No one has her kind of determination.
Except you.
I'll find her.
This may not be within your power.
Whatever you're trying to say, Master Plo, just say it.
I am suggesting that perhaps, if you have trained her well, she shall take care of herself and find a way back to you.
Brave, confident, and loyal, Ahsoka Tano was the apprentice of the esteemed Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker. Initially having harbored not so favorable thoughts towards the prospect of having a Padawan, Skywalker would later be won over by Ahsoka's determination, selflessness, and a capacity of emotion not easily found in Jedi. In many ways, he was her perfect fit, the two possessing striking similarities in fighting style, personality, and an unrelenting endeavorance in doing what they believed to be right. The force bond that would form between them would go beyond that of a conventional master-Padawan relationship and extend to a near familial point. Anakin treating and caring for Ahsoka as if she were more a little sister than an apprentice. And on the other hand, Ahsoka, immensely proud of her station as Skywalker's apprentice, even if Anakin himself did not notice it. This bond would serve both them and the viewers of the show well, on one hand giving the two greater coordination during battle, and on the other hand, providing sorely needed emotional connection to the TV show as a whole. Yoda had assigned Ahsoka to Anakin to teach him that, when the time came, he would have to learn to let go. However, all he did was give him one more person to become attached to care about. During the Second Battle of Geonosis, this bond would come into question by none other than the Jedi Order itself, its tenets having forbid attachments of any kind. Over time, Anakin's teachings would greatly shape both the type of Jedi and, more importantly, the type of person Ahsoka would become. And like Anakin, she believed it was completely necessary to follow one's own beliefs, even if it meant being a little reckless. Although this trait would often lead to favorable results, it also had the capability of inducing overconfidence in the Togrutan Padawan. During the Battle of Ryloth, this overconfidence, coupled with Ahsoka's, albeit well-placed, belief in her own skills, would lead to the death of an entire squadron of clones. However, throughout the incident, Ahsoka would display an incredible amount of maturity and wisdom, never deflecting the blame onto others, nor hiding her mistakes from her superiors. And although she often disobeyed the Jedi Council's orders to pursue what she believed to be the right course of action, Ahsoka would soon prove her worth as a skilled war tactician and strategist. Another one of Ahsoka's defining characteristics was her familiarity and overall treatment with the clones she fought with. Unlike much of the Order, she, as well as her master, respected the clones as individuals, and in turn earned their respect as both warriors and, more importantly, as people. Despite all the incredible feats that Ahsoka would manage during the Clone Wars, her greatest trial would come as it faced its resolution. Having been sent to interrogate a separatist guilty of bombing the Jedi Temple itself, Ahsoka learned that a Jedi had been complicit in the act. But right before revealing the name of the Jedi, Turman, the terrorist, was suddenly force-choked and killed. Ahsoka was mistakenly charged for the murder of Turman and placed under arrest, even at her insistence to the contrary. Ahsoka would flee the compound, chased by none other than her own master. Ahsoka, fraught with emotion, would exchange words with her master one last time, before disappearing into the depths of the Coruscant Undercity. Anakin would let her go. Skywalker, both broken and angered by the loss of his Padawan, and still believing in her innocence, would search for the true culprit in hopes of clearing Ahsoka's name and having her reinstated into the Order. Ahsoka would eventually be recaptured and brought before the Supreme Chancellor. As the verdict was being delivered, Anakin would march into the court and present the real mastermind behind the bombings. Afterwards, the Jedi Council would personally offer to reinstate Tano into the Order. But much like her master, Ahsoka was loyal to a fault. She gave her utmost trust to those around her and expected the same in return, but when the Council had never believed in her, never believed that she might have been telling the truth, how could she return to them? Ahsoka would refuse the offer and leave the temple. Anakin, one last time, would plead to her to stay, to finish her training, to help him stay true to the Jedi. He would reveal that he too had wanted to leave the Order, and understood the feeling of wanting to be free of the Jedi's restraints. To this, Ahsoka would simply respond, "I know." Shocked, both by his apprentice's perception and by her maturity towards his own precarious situation, Anakin would watch as she walked down the temple steps and onto another life. Ultimately, her leaving the Jedi would allow her to escape Order 66 and thus facilitate her return in Star Wars Rebels. Ahsoka would travel with Ezra and the crew of the Ghost until their mission on Malachor. There, she would reunite with her former master, now Darth Vader, and the two would engage in battle. Slashing off part of the Sith Lord's mask, Ahsoka would find her fears confirmed. Her master, the courageous, kind, selfless Anakin Skywalker, was now a Dark Lord of the Sith. Her face filled with sadness, she claimed that she wouldn't leave him, quote, "not this time." Unfazed, Darth Vader would attack her once more and fully affirm his fall to the dark side. Even now, I believe that every time Anakin saved Ahsoka's life, she was inadvertently saving his. To this point, I still believe her loss was one of the last straws that drove the once lauded Chosen One to the dark side. Early on, Ahsoka could often be seen wielding a single-bladed green lightsaber, held in an unorthodox Xi'an reverse grip, and for her age, was incredibly skilled in lightsaber combat. Furthermore, Her instructions under her master in both Form 5 Gemso and Form 4 Ataru allowed her to be a versatile and speed-oriented combatant. During the latter days of the Clone Wars, Ahsoka also began to learn Jar-Kai, and could often be seen wielding a yellow-hued Shoutout along with her original lightsaber. Her heavy reliance on Jar-Kai became evident in her battle with Barriss Offee, where she visibly struggled to outperform her opponent without the help of an additional lightsaber. Nonetheless, she was still a fearsome combatant, and remained so during her appearance in Rebels, where she was able to not only defeat Maul, but also hold her own against Darth Vader. In terms of Force powers, Ahsoka was certainly an above-average Jedi, often utilizing Force acrobatics to complement her lightsaber ability, and possessed a strong sense of the Force, able to pick out singular events from across the galaxy. Overall, the story of Ahsoka Tano left me with a feeling of joy, love, triumph, hope, fear, anger, sorrow, pride, hate, ultimately the qualities of life. Whether it be because of her quirky comments towards her master, or her bravery in the face of seemingly unsurmountable odds, Ahsoka will always have a special place in my appreciation of the Star Wars mythos, and I bravely infer that of millions of Star Wars fans across the world. Thank you, Ahsoka, and may the Force be with you all.